The rich think differently, and so can you. Welcome to Rich Mindset Master, where mindset meets money. As we begin this journey together, I want to acknowledge the people who bring love and inspiration into my life: Rupert and Rowan. Your presence is a reminder that self-compassion starts at home with those closest to us. In the pages ahead, you'll discover why self-compassion matters, how to cultivate it, and what it can do for your life. Let's start with the basics. This book is a labor of love, made possible by the support of many individuals who have contributed along the way. Self-compassion, a journey to wholeness. Why self-compassion matters. Breaking free from criticism and judgment, learn how to let go of self-criticism and cultivate a more loving relationship with yourself. Being kind to ourselves, discover the power of treating yourself with kindness, understanding, and acceptance, just as you would a close friend. The heart of self-compassion: community and connection. Explore how shared experiences can foster empathy, compassion, and a deeper sense of belonging. Mindfulness: embracing reality, learn to accept what is rather than resisting it, and unlock the superpower of mindfulness in your life. The rewards of self-compassion. As you embark on this journey, remember that self-compassion is not just a practice, it's a way of being. By cultivating kindness, understanding, and acceptance towards yourself, you'll open doors to a more authentic, wholehearted life. Take the first step today. Begin treating yourself with the same love, care, and compassion that you offer to others. Embracing emotional resilience, the power of compassion. Life's ups and downs can be challenging, but what if you could bounce back with ease? Developing emotional resilience is key to navigating life's twists and turns. But it all starts with a vital component: compassion. Compassion isn't just about feeling sorry for others, it's about truly understanding their struggles and showing kindness. When we extend this kindness inward, we cultivate self-compassion, the practice of treating ourselves with the same understanding and care that we would offer to a friend. Key takeaways: self-compassion is not just a luxury, but a necessity for our well-being. By practicing self-compassion, we can develop emotional resilience and better cope with life's challenges. When we model healthy relationships through self-compassion, we set a powerful example for our children. Unlocking potential, the self-compassion catalyst. Imagine being able to approach life's obstacles with confidence and clarity. That's what happens when self-compassion becomes the catalyst for positive change. By treating ourselves with kindness, understanding, and care, we unlock our full potential and create a ripple effect of kindness that resonates throughout our lives. Take the first step. So, how can you start cultivating self-compassion in your life? Begin by acknowledging your own struggles and imperfections. Practice treating yourself with the same kindness and understanding that you would offer to a friend. By doing so, you'll not only improve your emotional resilience, but also set a powerful example for those around you. Note, I've maintained a motivational and dynamic tone throughout the script, highlighting key points and emphasizing the importance of self-compassion in our lives. The structure includes an engaging introduction, informative key takeaways, and a strong call to action to encourage listeners to start practicing self-compassion. Embracing self-love and acceptance can be a powerful catalyst for personal growth. By teaching others how to love and accept themselves, you're giving them a gift that will stay with them forever. Love and sex are often intertwined, but they don't always go hand in hand. Self-compassion, however, has the power to transform our approach to intimacy, allowing us to be more authentic and vulnerable in our relationships. As we delve into Part 5, The Joy of Self-Compassion, a remarkable transformation begins to unfold. Like a butterfly emerging from its cocoon, self-compassion starts to bloom, revealing its full beauty and potential. At the heart of this transformation lies self-appreciation, not just acknowledging our accomplishments, but genuinely valuing who we are as individuals. This is where the magic of self-compassion truly takes off. In a special note of gratitude, I want to express my deepest thanks to an extraordinary person, my husband Rupert. His unwavering support and encouragement were instrumental in bringing this book to life, and I am forever grateful for his guidance and love every step of the way. Imagine having a supportive network that propels you towards your dreams. For me, that's exactly what happened. Effective communication is key to achieving success, and I'm grateful for my mentor who taught me how to convey my ideas in plain English. Her brilliance and eloquence have been invaluable, and I feel truly fortunate to have her guidance in my life. I also want to acknowledge the incredible people who believed in me from the start. My friend and agent, Elizabeth Shankman, was instrumental in bringing this book to life. Her support has been a constant source of encouragement, and I'm deeply grateful for her trust in me. But it's not just individuals who have made a difference. Organizations can also play a vital role in nurturing our passions. HarperCollins took a chance on me and my project, and their collaboration has been nothing short of remarkable. It's amazing to think about the many people who have contributed to making this dream a reality. And then there are the teachers who have shaped our understanding of ourselves and the world around us. I'm grateful for the incredible mentors who have taught me the value of self-compassion, including Rodney Smith, who has been a constant source of guidance and wisdom in my life. Now, I want to encourage you to think about the people and organizations that have supported you on your journey. Who are the rock stars in your life? Who has helped you grow and achieve your goals? Take a moment to acknowledge their impact and express your gratitude. It can be a game changer for both of you. The power of guiding lights, how teachers shape our journey in the pursuit of mindfulness and compassion. We often find ourselves drawn to individuals who share their wisdom, experience, and passion. For me, these guiding lights have had a profound impact on my personal growth. Their influence is not limited to just one or two. It's a collective force that has shaped my understanding of what it means to live with intention and awareness. Chan Salzberg's teachings on loving kindness, for instance, have been instrumental in cultivating empathy and kindness within me. The authors who have left an indelible mark on my journey are equally diverse and remarkable, from the likes of Howie Cohen, Guy Armstrong, and Thich, and hand to Joseph Goldstein, Jack Kornfield, and Pema Chodron. Each has brought their unique perspective and expertise to the table. Tara Brach's teachings on healing and transformation have been invaluable, while Tara Bennett Bowman's work on emotional intelligence has provided me with a deeper understanding of myself. Ram Dass and Eckhart Tolle, among others, have helped me see the world in new and profound ways. But it's not just these well-known teachers who have had an impact. Countless others have shared their gifts through meditation retreats, books, and online resources. Their collective efforts remind us that we're never alone on this journey, and that there are always guiding lights available to illuminate our path. So, if you find yourself seeking guidance or simply looking for inspiration, Remember that the wisdom of others is just a step away. Reach out, explore, and allow these guiding lights to shine their way into your life, illuminating new possibilities and deepening your connection with the world around you. Imagine being part of a community that's changing the way we live with compassion and kindness. For me, that's what mindfulness and meditation have been all about, making a difference in the lives of others. I've had the privilege of learning from some incredible minds who have paved the way for this movement. Lee Brassington, Chinzen Yang, Steve Armstrong, Kamala Masters, and John Kabat-Zinn have all left an indelible mark on my journey. Their groundbreaking work has opened doors for countless people worldwide, and I feel honored to have been a part of it. Their wisdom, compassion, and dedication to helping others have inspired me in ways that are still unfolding today. I'm grateful to Martha Beck, whose work has had a profound impact on me, as well as Paul Gilbert's trailblazing research on compassionist thinking has truly opened doors to new possibilities. I'm also fortunate to call Christopher Germer not only a colleague, but a friend. Together, we've explored the power of self-compassion through teaching and writing, and I look forward to continuing this journey with him for years to come. And then there's Mark Leary, who gave me my first opportunity to share my work with others by publishing my early writings. His support has been invaluable, and I'm grateful for his trust in me. These individuals have not only shaped the landscape of mindfulness, but have also inspired a new wave of kindness and compassion. They remind us that when we come together with an open heart and mind, anything is possible. Imagine being surrounded by people who genuinely care for you without condition or expectation. That's the power of self-compassion, treating yourself with kindness, understanding, and acceptance, just as you would a close friend. I'm deeply grateful to the researchers who have paved the way in this field, shining a light on the transformative potential of self-compassion. Their groundbreaking work has inspired me on my own journey, and I'm humbled by their dedication to helping us cultivate a more loving relationship with ourselves. As I look back, I realize that it's not just one person or influence that's led me here. Rather, it's the collective support of many individuals who have encouraged me along the way. To those whose names I may not mention, but whose impact I deeply appreciate, thank you for being part of this journey. Now, let's explore why self-compassion matters so much. In today's fast-paced world, it's surprising how few of us truly feel good about ourselves. We're constantly striving for more, convinced that feeling special and standing out from the crowd is what makes us worthy. But the truth is, loving ourselves isn't about self-importance or narcissism. It's about tapping into our inherent value and worth. Self-compassion isn't just a luxury, it's a necessity in today's ultra-competitive landscape. By cultivating kindness, understanding, and acceptance towards ourselves, we open up to new possibilities for growth, creativity, and fulfillment. We begin to see that our worth isn't defined by external validation or achievements, but by the love and care we extend to ourselves. So let's embark on this journey of self-discovery together, exploring what it means to cultivate self-compassion in our daily lives and unlocking its transformative potential for ourselves and those around us. Embracing our true nature, letting go of the need to be special as humans, we are wired with an innate capacity for inner strength, compassion, and understanding, qualities that are waiting to be tapped into and nurtured. Sharon Salzberg beautifully captures this concept when she says, Loving ourselves points to capacities of resilience, compassion, and understanding within us. So, why do we struggle to tap into these natural strengths? Our society often confuses self love with selfishness, perpetuating the idea that constant striving is necessary for success. But what happens when we let go of this need to stand out? When we release the pressure to be special, something remarkable occurs. I remember a pivotal moment as a college freshman spent hours primping and preening for a party, only to turn to my boyfriend and admit I looked terrible. His reassurance, "Don't worry, you look fine," felt like a hollow comfort. What I really wanted was to be free from the need to impress. We all yearn to feel special, to stand out from the crowd. But in reality, it's impossible for everyone to be exceptional. The pursuit of uniqueness can lead us down a path of comparison and competition, exhausting ourselves in an endless quest for validation. What if we could break free from this cycle? What if we could learn to love and accept ourselves just as we are, without the need for external validation? Imagine embracing your true nature with all its quirks, flaws, and beauty. Imagine cultivating a sense of self-acceptance that allows you to radiate confidence, compassion, and understanding. It starts by letting go of the need to be special and instead choosing to love yourself exactly as you are. In a world where comparisons are inevitable, it's easy to get lost in the pursuit of being better than others. We've all been there. Someone surpasses us, and we're left wondering if we measure up. But here's the harsh reality. We can't be above average at everything. Some people naturally excel in sports, art, or music, while others shine in different areas. The problem arises when we try to boost our own self-worth by tearing others down. We engage in a game of one-upmanship, constantly trying to prove ourselves superior. But this mentality is not only exhausting, it's also limiting. When we're too busy comparing ourselves to others, we lose sight of what truly matters, becoming the best version of ourselves. The irony is that when we're consumed by proving our worth at someone else's expense, we end up blind to both them and ourselves. We can't genuinely see or appreciate the unique qualities in others because we're too busy trying to outdo them. And as a result, we miss out on opportunities for growth, connection, and self-discovery. It's time to shift our focus away from comparisons and towards self-improvement. Let's stop measuring ourselves against others and start working on becoming the best versions of ourselves. By doing so, we'll not only unlock our full potential, but also foster a more compassionate and supportive community where everyone can thrive. Are we so focused on measuring ourselves against others that we forget how to tune into our own inner selves? Take a typical evening scenario. Your husband walks in late after a long day at work. You're already feeling frazzled and irritable, making it even harder for him to connect with you. When we're deeply invested in seeing ourselves as positive and capable, we often try to shift the blame elsewhere when things don't go our way. So if there's tension between you and your husband, you might attribute it to his behavior rather than taking responsibility yourself. The conversation starts off on a defensive note. "Hey, great, you're finally home. Did you pick up the groceries like I asked? I just walked through the door, how about that?" It's easy to see how quickly things can escalate. Before long, your husband is getting an earful of your frustrations. But here's the thing, by taking the defensive stance, we're actually missing out on a chance to truly connect with each other. So what if, instead of jumping straight into Blame and defensiveness. You took a deep breath and asked your husband about his day. "Hey there, how was your day?" By doing so, you might just find yourself opening up to a more authentic and meaningful conversation. Take control of your relationships by shifting the focus from blame to understanding. Prioritize self-awareness and take responsibility for your actions. It's time to break free from the cycle of defensiveness and cultivate deeper connections with those around you. In a world where relationships are built on trust, understanding, and empathy, why do we often find ourselves trapped in a cycle of blame and defensiveness? We've all been there, caught in a heated conversation that spirals out of control, with neither side willing to concede. The truth is, our ego can be a formidable obstacle. We have this strange habit of denying our own flaws and shortcomings, instead shifting the focus onto someone else's mistakes. But what's behind this behavior? Why do we struggle to admit when we're wrong or out of line? It all comes down to pride, that pesky voice in our head that insists on justifying our actions, no matter how flawed they may be. We engage in a blame game where one person says it's not my fault, while the other retorts with, "Well, it's yours then." This dynamic is all too familiar, and it's exhausting. Think about all the time and energy wasted on these unnecessary arguments. The finger pointing, the justifying, the endless back and forth. Wouldn't it be liberating to simply admit when we've messed up, to take responsibility for our actions, and move forward with a newfound sense of understanding and respect? The key is self-awareness. By acknowledging our own flaws and shortcomings, we can break free from this cycle of blame and defensiveness. We can choose to approach conflicts with empathy and compassion rather than resorting to the same old patterns. So let's make a conscious effort to change this dynamic. Let's take ownership of our mistakes and extend that same courtesy to others. By doing so, we'll not only strengthen our relationships, but also cultivate a more honest, more empathetic, and more authentic way of being. Embracing change, breaking free from self-deception. We've all been there, stuck in a cycle of self-doubt and stagnation. It's easy to get caught up in the need to be right, even when it's clear that we're both responsible for the mess. But true growth requires recognizing our own weaknesses, not just pointing fingers at others. The key to personal transformation lies in acknowledging our flaws rather than ignoring them or blaming others. When we avoid confronting our issues, we get stuck on a treadmill of stagnation and conflict, expending energy but making little progress. Self-judgment is one of the biggest obstacles to reaching our full potential. We're so focused on beating ourselves up over mistakes that we forget how to move forward. It's like chasing a sugar high, a quick rush followed by a crash, leaving us feeling drained and demotivated. But what if you could break free from this cycle? What if you could learn to accept yourself, flaws and all, and use them as stepping stones for growth? It starts with self-awareness. When we can see ourselves clearly, without judgment, we can begin to make meaningful changes. So, take the first step towards transformation. Let go of the need for perfection. Recognize that you're not alone in your struggles and that it's okay to stumble. By acknowledging our weaknesses and taking responsibility for our actions, we can start moving forward rather than just running on a treadmill of self-deception. Embracing imperfection, breaking free from self-doubt and shame in a world where perfection is often idealized. It's no wonder we struggle with the harsh reality of our own imperfections. The truth is, we can't all be special and above average at the same time. This inevitable discrepancy can have devastating consequences. When we confront our weaknesses and shortcomings, shame creeps in and self-criticism becomes brutal. We beat ourselves up over perceived inadequacies, leaving us feeling worthless. But what's the point of honesty if it only leads to a harsh inner voice? We tend to hide from our flaws rather than face them head on, creating a culture of comparison that breeds emotional pain. We measure ourselves against unattainable standards, airbrushed models, and six-figure bank accounts, and lose faith in our abilities. This vicious cycle of self-doubt can be suffocating, leaving us questioning who we are and what we're capable of achieving. But it's time to break free from this toxic dynamic. It starts with acknowledging that imperfection is not only okay, but also necessary for growth. Recognize that your worth isn't defined by your flaws or shortcomings. You are more than your mistakes. You are a unique individual with strengths, talents, and abilities waiting to be unleashed. So, let's redefine what it means to be honest with ourselves. Let's stop hiding from our imperfections and start embracing them as opportunities for growth. By doing so, we can break free from the cycle of self-doubt and shame and unlock a more authentic, empowered version of ourselves. Are you tired of feeling stuck, like you're not living up to your potential? We've all been there, caught in a cycle of self-doubt and criticism. The more we struggle, the deeper we sink into hopelessness. But here's the thing, it doesn't have to be this way. We don't have to let impossible expectations dictate our lives. We're constantly striving for perfection in every area: intelligence, fitness, style, interests, success, and even spirituality. And yet, no matter how well we stack up, someone else is always doing it better. The pressure is exhausting. Millions of people rely on medication just to get through each day. Insecurity, anxiety, and depression are rampant in our society, and a big part of that is due to the way we measure ourselves against unattainable standards. So what's the alternative? It starts with recognizing that perfection is not only unattainable, but also unnecessary. We don't have to be perfect to be enough. In fact, embracing our imperfections can be a powerful source of freedom and creativity. It's time to break free from the cycle of self-doubt and criticism. Let's stop comparing ourselves to others and start focusing on what truly matters: our unique strengths, talents, and passions. We have the power to choose how we measure success and happiness. Let's choose to redefine what it means to be enough. Join me in taking control of your life, in letting go of impossible expectations, and in embracing your authentic self. Together, let's create a more compassionate, accepting, and empowered community, one that celebrates our differences and encourages us to shine. Embracing your true self, breaking free from self-criticism. We've all been there, beating ourselves up when we feel like we're not winning, constantly striving for perfection and falling short. But what if you could break free from this cycle of self-criticism? What if you didn't need labels like good or bad to define yourself? Imagine having an open heart, full of kindness and compassion, treating yourself with the same care and understanding that you would offer a good friend. The truth is, most of us are actually much harder on ourselves than anyone else. We judge ourselves harshly, often without even realizing it. I remember when I first discovered the power of self-compassion. It was during my final year at UC Berkeley. while working on my dissertation for a doctoral program in human development. I was pushing myself to finish, but feeling burned out and overwhelmed by shame and self-loathing after my first marriage ended. That's when I decided to try something new: meditation classes at a local Buddhist center. Through these classes, I began to develop a more compassionate relationship with myself. I learned to recognize the harsh self-criticism that had become so ingrained in me and to replace it with kindness and understanding. It wasn't easy, but it was worth it. By practicing self-compassion, I was able to break free from the cycle of self-doubt and shame. So, what can you learn from my experience? The first step is to acknowledge that you are not alone in this struggle. We all make mistakes, we all face challenges, and yet we often judge ourselves more harshly than others would ever dare to. The second step is to start practicing self-compassion in your daily life. Take a few moments each day to breathe deeply, to focus on the present moment, and to treat yourself with kindness and understanding. Don't let self-criticism hold you back any longer. You have the power to choose how you respond to challenges and setbacks. Choose to be kind to yourself, to offer your self-compassion and understanding. By doing so, you'll not only improve your mental health, but also unlock a more fulfilling and meaningful life. As a child growing up on the outskirts of Los Angeles, I had an innate curiosity about Eastern spirituality, a fascination that my open-minded mother encouraged from a young age. But while I dabbled in various spiritual practices, meditation and Buddhist philosophy remained foreign to me. My interest in these concepts was more of a casual exploration than a deeply ingrained passion. That all changed when I stumbled upon the California New Age movement, where I discovered Sharon Salzberg's book Loving Kindness. This transformative read had a profound impact on my life, shifting my perspective forever. For years, I'd heard about the importance of compassion in Buddhism, but its application to myself never truly resonated. It wasn't until I grasped this fundamental idea that self-compassion is essential for cultivating kindness towards others that everything clicked into place. Buddhists believe you must first care for yourself before you can genuinely care for those around you. This revelation has stayed with me, and it's one I want to share with you. Self-compassion isn't selfish, it's essential. By acknowledging our own humanity, we open ourselves up to a deeper understanding of others and the world around us. Embracing compassion, the key to authentic connection in our pursuit of genuine compassion towards others. We often create artificial boundaries between people. These distinctions can lead to feelings of separation and isolation, the antithesis of what most spiritual paths aim to achieve. I recall a pivotal conversation with my fiancé Rupert during our weekly Buddhist group meetings. His words would frequently leave me in awe. It's okay to be kind to yourself, to have compassion for who you are. We've all been there, feeling like we're on the brink of collapse when life gets tough. But have we ever stopped to consider whether being kind to ourselves is simply a cop-out? Will it make us lazy and self-centered if we show ourselves mercy? I used to believe this, thinking that self-compassion was an excuse for not pushing ourselves to be better. However, upon closer examination, I realized the flaws in my approach. Self-criticism may seem like an inherent part of being human, but it's actually a misguided notion. It can lead us down a path of self-doubt and negativity, causing us to lose sight of our true potential. The truth is Kindness towards ourselves is not a weakness, it's a strength. By embracing compassion and acceptance, we open ourselves up to growth, healing, and genuine connection with others. So, let's redefine what it means to be kind and start cultivating self-love that allows us to live more authentic, wholehearted lives. By choosing to prioritize self-compassion, we can break free from the shackles of self-doubt and criticism, and instead foster a deeper sense of understanding and empathy, not just for ourselves, but also for those around us. When self-criticism becomes a cycle of doubt, have you ever found yourself trapped in a cycle of self-doubt where every criticism seems to reinforce the same old negative thoughts? I'm not good enough. I'll never get it right. These phrases can become a constant companion, making us feel worse instead of better. The hardest part is confronting our own flaws and admitting the truth about ourselves, often out of fear of self-hate. But what if we told you that there's a way to break free from this cycle, a game changer that gives you the power to cultivate your own sense of self-worth? Instead of relying solely on others for love, acceptance, and security, you can start providing those feelings for yourself. And when you do share them with someone else, you'll have even more to give. Imagine having a deep understanding that you hold the key to your own happiness. This was the revelation my husband and I experienced together, which inspired us to make a commitment to each other during our wedding ceremony. We promised to help the other cultivate compassion for themselves so that we could both thrive and be happy. The promise was simple yet profound. Most of all, I promise to help you have compassion for yourself. As I reflect on this journey, I realize that it's not just about relationships or external validation, it's about taking control of our own self-worth. By acknowledging the power within ourselves, we can start living a life filled with purpose, confidence, and joy. Imagine being driven by a sense of unwavering confidence and self-worth. It sounds like a great starting point for success, but what if I told you that this isn't always the case? In fact, research has shown that chasing high self-esteem can have some surprising downsides. From narcissism to anger issues, a relentless pursuit of ego boosting can lead to behaviors that are far from healthy. And let's not forget about prejudice and discrimination, hardly signs of good mental health. It seems we've been focusing on the wrong target all along. But what is there? Was a better way, a way to cultivate confidence without sacrificing our relationships, our empathy, or our sense of self. That's where self-compassion comes in. By shifting our focus from self-esteem to self-kindness, we can unlock a more authentic and resilient approach to mental well-being. So, what does it mean to prioritize self-compassion over self-esteem? It means treating ourselves with the same kindness and understanding that we offer to others. It means embracing our imperfections and limitations rather than trying to constantly prove ourselves. And it means cultivating a sense of connection and belonging rather than isolation and competition. The good news is that this shift is within reach. By making self-compassion a priority, you can start to experience the confidence and resilience that comes from truly knowing yourself, flaws and all. Introduction: imagine having the confidence to be yourself without the pressure to be perfect. Sounds too good to be true? Think again. Self-compassion is the key to unlocking this mindset, and it's more accessible than you might think. Key points: self-compassion offers a unique advantage over high self-esteem. It allows us to feel good about ourselves without striving for flawlessness. But what exactly is self-compassion? Let's start with something familiar: compassion for others. We all know that when we show kindness and understanding towards someone else, it can be incredibly powerful. Take the example of being stuck in a traffic jam on your way to work. A stranger tries to sell you car washes from his trunk. You could feel frustrated or annoyed, but instead take a deep breath and offer him a kind word or a smile. That's compassion in action, and it's exactly what we can apply towards ourselves. As someone who's dedicated their career to studying self-compassion, I've seen firsthand the transformative power of this mindset. By practicing self-compassion, we can break free from the need for perfection and cultivate a more authentic, resilient sense of self. Call to action. So, what can you do today to start cultivating self-compassion? Take a moment to reflect on how you treat yourself when things don't go as planned. Would you offer kindness and understanding to a friend in the same situation? If so, why not extend that same compassion towards yourself? By doing so, you'll be taking the first step towards unlocking your full potential and living a more authentic, fulfilling life. Imagine being approached by a persistent stranger, their needs and struggles on full display. At first, we might think, "Poor guy, he's just trying to make ends meet." And in that moment, we're showing him kindness and understanding, the very essence of compassion. But what happens when this dynamic becomes a regular occurrence? When every interaction with someone like this leaves us feeling guilty or resentful, we assume they are only looking for handouts, ignoring their humanity. The homeless man washing your window, waiting for a tip that validates his existence. It's a complex emotional tug of war. Giving in makes you feel resentful, while withholding makes you feel guilty. You're stuck in this limbo, unsure of what to do. But what if we approached these interactions with the same kindness and understanding we offer others? What if we treated ourselves with compassion rather than judgment? Let's imagine a life where every encounter is an opportunity for growth, not guilt or resentment, where we see the humanity in each person regardless of their circumstances. When we do, something remarkable happens. Our relationships with others transform, and so does our relationship with ourselves. So why settle for emotional limbo? Choose compassion. Choose kindness. It's a choice that can change everything starting today. Every day, we encounter them, the familiar faces of homelessness, often relegated to the fringes of our daily lives. But what if today was different? What if, in this moment, you saw him not just as a nuisance, but as a person? You noticed the weariness etched on his face, the resilience that keeps him going despite the odds. He's more than just a fixture on the corner. He's someone who's trying to make ends meet, offering a service for whatever coins come his way. The world around us can be cruel, and people often react with anger or indifference. But when we take a step back and truly see him, something shifts inside. We start to recognize the humanity in this person, struggling to survive amidst the chaos of our daily lives. What if we chose to look beyond the surface level? What if we saw not just a problem, but an individual with a story worth telling? When we do, we open ourselves up to a deeper understanding and compassion. We begin to see that every person on the street has a name, a face, and a heart that beats with hope, no matter how faint it may seem. Let's choose to look again. Let's see beyond the familiarity of homelessness and into the eyes of another human being. Imagine a moment when someone's struggles touch your heart. Instead of turning away, you pause to consider the weight they carry. This spark of compassion ignites empathy, not just pity, but genuine understanding that motivates you to lend a hand. When we truly feel for others, we acknowledge our own vulnerability. We realize that fate can be cruel, and it's only circumstance that keeps us from being in their shoes. We've all had days where making ends meet feels like an insurmountable task, leaving us feeling uncertain about our place in the world. Fear creeps in during these moments, fear of losing everything, of ending up on the streets. But when we let fear consume us, it can lead to a darker path. We start to dehumanize those struggling, seeing them as mere statistics or faceless bundles of need. This is a slippery slope, but one that's easy to avoid if we stay grounded in compassion. By recognizing our shared humanity, we can choose not to turn away from others' struggles. Instead, we can offer support, understanding, and kindness, the kind that acknowledges we're all just one step away from being in their shoes. So let us strive to see each other's stories, to hear the whispers of those struggling, and to respond with empathy rather than fear. Imagine if every interaction with someone struggling could be an opportunity for connection, not isolation. But often our hardened hearts can push people away, leaving us feeling more alone in our own struggles. We may think we are protecting ourselves by shutting down, but the truth is we're also blocking out a chance to form meaningful connections. When we try to be kinder than someone who's struggling, it can backfire and make things worse. But what if, instead of shutting down, you chose to truly connect with that person? What would it feel like to have your heart open up? It would be exhilarating, like being more alive, present in the moment. Compassion isn't just for those who are easy to love or deserving by our standards. Everyone deserves compassion, no matter their circumstances. Whether someone is struggling to make ends meet or facing a personal crisis, they deserve kindness and understanding. You don't have to give them money or an invitation to dinner sometimes. All it takes is a genuine smile or a listening ear. So the next time you encounter someone who's struggling, remember that your small act of kindness can be the spark that ignites a connection. It may not solve their problems, but it can bring hope and humanity into their life. And who knows, you might just find yourself feeling more alive in the process. Every individual deserves a level of compassion, regardless of their circumstances or past choices. We all make mistakes, and acknowledging this shared human experience can foster empathy and understanding. Key points: we often reserve compassion for those who are blameless, but it's essential to recognize that everyone struggles in some way. Compassion starts with seeing and acknowledging the pain of others, not just recognizing their struggles, but also feeling the genuine kindness towards them. This allows us to genuinely want to help, alleviate their suffering. Compassion isn't limited to others, it's also about how we treat ourselves. Practicing self-compassion requires acknowledging our own pain and taking the time to recognize what hurts. By doing so, we can begin to make amends with ourselves and develop a deeper understanding of our struggles. Recognizing that we're all imperfect and prone to mistakes is crucial in cultivating compassion. It's not about being perfect, it's about being human. By embracing this imperfection, we can create a more compassionate environment for everyone involved. By treating others and ourselves with kindness and empathy, we can break down barriers and build stronger relationships. Let's strive to create a world where compassion is the foundation of our interactions rather than an afterthought. embracing imperfection. Finding strength in vulnerability, we often try to put on a brave face to hide our vulnerabilities from the world. But what if we told you that embracing our imperfections is not only okay, but essential? That by acknowledging our fragility, we can actually find strength in our shared humanity. Here are some key insights. Pain is an invisible companion, often lurking just beneath the surface of our daily lives. We might feel fine on the outside, yet be carrying a heavy weight of emotions on the inside. Research suggests that many of us are walking around with undiagnosed emotional pain, silently suffering in silence. The Western culture's emphasis on suppressing emotions can have dire consequences. By bottling up our feelings and pushing through, we're neglecting our emotional well-being. This stiff upper lip approach may be a nod to tradition, but it's not always the healthiest way to deal with pain. The truth is, vulnerability is not weakness, it's courage. When we open ourselves up to compassion and kindness, we create space for healing and growth. By acknowledging our imperfections and embracing our shared humanity, we can break free from the cycle of suffering and find a more authentic, compassionate way of living. So let's challenge the status quo and redefine what it means to be strong. Let's learn to lean into our vulnerabilities, to acknowledge our pain, and to seek help when we need it. By doing so, we'll not only find strength in our imperfections, but also create a more empathetic, supportive community that values vulnerability as a sign of courage, not weakness. Embracing vulnerability, breaking free from emotional wounds we've all been there feeling, like our lives are spinning out of control, struggling to keep up with the demands of everyday life. And it's even tougher when we're the ones causing our own pain. The problem is we often ignore our own needs, neglecting to recognize when something's amiss. Self-judgment can be a particularly insidious form of suffering. We lash out at ourselves for mistakes or thoughtless comments, expecting punishment for our errors. But what if instead we chose compassion? What if we acknowledged that making mistakes is an inevitable part of being human? I recall a moment with a friend where I asked her if she was pregnant, only to realize she'd just gained some weight. My face turned bright red as I stumbled over my words. It's easy to forget that others might be experiencing similar moments of awkwardness too. The truth is, we're all on this journey together, making mistakes, stumbling over our words, and sometimes causing unintended harm. But it's in these moments of vulnerability that we have the power to choose how we respond. Do we punish ourselves or others for errors? Or do we extend kindness, understanding that everyone makes mistakes? It's time to break free from emotional wounds by embracing vulnerability as a strength, not a weakness. By acknowledging our own needs and extending compassion to ourselves and others, we can create a more supportive, less judgmental environment, one where everyone feels safe to make mistakes and learn from them. Life is full of unexpected twists and turns, and mistakes are an inevitable part of the journey. We've all been there, watching friends and family stumble and wondering how we can offer support without judgment. But let's be honest, do we really help others by being too hard on them? Or does it just create more stress and tension? I think we'd all agree that a little tough love isn't always the answer. Instead, what if we focused on learning from our own mistakes? The truth is, nobody gets it right every time. There's no magic formula for success, no guarantee of perfection. Life is messy, and sometimes things just don't go as planned. But instead of beating ourselves up over what went wrong, what if we tried a different approach? What if we saw mistakes as opportunities to grow, to learn, and to become stronger? Then about it, would you really sign up for a life where everything goes perfectly all the time? Where there's no room for error, no chance to make mistakes? It sounds too good to be true. I think what we're really signing up for is a life that's unpredictable, imperfect, and full of possibilities. So why do we beat ourselves up over mistakes when we know they're an essential part of the journey? Let's try something new. Let's start treating ourselves with kindness, compassion, and understanding. When things don't go as planned, let's take a deep breath, learn from our mistakes, and keep moving forward. In a world where expectations are high and pressures mount, it's no wonder that setbacks can leave us reeling. We've all been there, our dreams crashing down around us, stress taking hold, and self-doubt whispering what went wrong. But beneath this facade of independence lies a harsh reality. We're often conditioned to believe that success is solely our responsibility, that if we fail, it's because we're not good enough, not worthy of help or support. But is this really fair? Every person deserves compassion simply by existing their life experience and inherent value, making them deserving of care. The Dalai Lama reminds us that humans are fundamentally wired to seek happiness and avoid suffering. We all navigate the ups and downs of life with this instinct guiding us, chasing happiness and trying to escape pain. It's a basic human right, one that every individual deserves the freedom to pursue their passions without fear of judgment or rejection. In reality, we're not alone in our struggles. We are all on equal footing when it comes to real value, our worthiness of love, care, and compassion unshakable. Embracing our shared humanity, the power of self-compassion, we often forget that our inherent worth is what makes us equal. This fundamental idea is rooted in the Declaration of Independence, which affirms that every individual is endowed with unalienable rights, life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. These aren't privileges we earn. They are basic human rights. We all have a birthright to compassion, a fundamental aspect of being human. Our capacity for thought, feeling, and desire makes us deserving of kindness, regardless of our actions. Yet, many struggle with self-compassion, misconceiving it as self-pity or an excuse for personal indulgence. Let's dispel these myths together. Self-compassion is not about prioritizing one's own desires over others. It's about wanting the best for oneself, just as we strive to create a better world for all. When we prioritize our well-being, we're more likely to take action towards positive change. By embracing self-compassion, we can break free from the cycle of suffering and cultivate a deeper understanding of ourselves. By recognizing that compassion is not limited to others but also includes oneself, we can unlock a profound sense of inner peace and motivation. So, let's redefine what it means to be compassionate, not just as a virtue for others, but as an essential part of our shared humanity. Embracing imperfection, the power of self-compassion in the quest for emotional well-being. It's time to shift our focus away from competition and comparison. We're not in a race to see who's struggling more. Every person's pain is valid and deserving of attention. It's about acknowledging the weight of your own emotions rather than trying to diminish someone else's by comparing it to yours. When mistakes happen, and they will, try not to beat yourself up over them. Instead, use those moments as opportunities to practice self-compassion. Let go of the need for perfection and focus on growing from your experiences. Think about it. Striving for perfection is a recipe for dissatisfaction. What if you gave yourself the kindness and understanding you need in the moment? Research has shown that self-compassion is a game changer when it comes to achieving emotional well-being and contentment. By treating ourselves with unconditional kindness and comfort, we can break free from patterns of self-criticism and develop a more compassionate relationship with ourselves. In fact, our research over the past decade suggests that cultivating self-compassion can have a profound impact on our lives. It's not just about feeling better, it's about living better. By embracing imperfection and practicing self-compassion, you can develop a more realistic understanding of yourself and your abilities, build resilience in the face of challenges and setbacks, cultivate meaningful relationships with others based on mutual respect and kindness. So, what if you started treating yourself with the same kindness and compassion that you offer to others? What if you gave yourself permission to make mistakes, to be imperfect, and to grow from your experiences? It's time to write the script of self-criticism and perfectionism. It's time to choose self-compassion. Embracing imperfection, the power of self-compassion. Life can be tough when we're struggling with fear, negativity, and isolation. But what if you could flip that script? What if you could cultivate happiness and optimism instead? The answer lies in self-compassion, the practice of treating yourself with kindness just as you are. When we accept ourselves with all our flaws and imperfections, we open up to real and lasting satisfaction. It's not about striving for perfection, it's about being gentle with ourselves. By practicing self-compassion, we create space to flourish even in the toughest times. We start to appreciate the beauty and richness of life, no matter what's going on. Self-compassion is a powerful tool for soothing an agitated mind. When our thoughts get caught up in worry or anxiety, it provides a calm refuge from the storm. Imagine being able to navigate life's challenges with clarity and purpose, shifting your focus towards what brings you joy rather than getting bogged down by what's wrong. Self-compassion is like an island of peace, a safe haven where you can be yourself without judgment. By embracing it, you can start to notice the things that truly bring you happiness and fulfillment. So take a deep breath, let go of self-criticism, and begin your journey towards a more compassionate, resilient you. Imagine being free from the constant weighing down of self-doubt, where every day is a battle with your own worthiness. You're not alone in this struggle. We all engage in it at some point. But what if you could harness the power to calm these turbulent emotions? You have the capacity to offer yourself the care and support that you so desperately need. By tapping into your inner kindness, acknowledging our shared imperfections as humans, you can start to feel more secure, accepted, and truly alive. Self-compassion is a transformative force. It has the power to revolutionize our lives in profound ways. It's not just a concept, it's a practice that can be applied every day. Tara Bennett Goldman's book, Emotional Alchemy, offers us a powerful tool for healing our hearts through our minds. She uses alchemy as a metaphor for spiritual and emotional transformation, showing what happens when we approach pain with care and concern. When you treat yourself with kindness, something remarkable occurs. The grip of negative self-criticism starts to loosen, replaced by a sense of peaceful acceptance. It's like turning coal into diamonds, transforming suffering into joy is possible. So, take the first step towards this transformation today. Begin to cultivate self-compassion and watch how it can revolutionize your life. Imagine a flower blooming in the darkest depths, its beauty emerging from the shadows. It's a powerful reminder that growth and transformation can arise from even the most challenging places. As we explore your inner world, let's take a closer look at how you interact with yourself. What triggers self-criticism in you? Is it the way you look, your career path, relationships, or perhaps parenting? Take a moment to reflect on what typically sets off a cycle of negativity within you. Notice the language you use when addressing your own flaws and imperfections. Are you brutally honest, or do you try to be kinder and more understanding? The words we choose have the power to shape our self-perception and influence our behavior. If you're someone who tends to be overly critical, how does that affect you emotionally? Do you feel anxious, guilty, or stuck in a rut? The weight of self-judgment can hold us back from living fully and pursuing our passions. The consequences of self-criticism are far-reaching. Do you find yourself avoiding situations because you're afraid of not meeting your own expectations? Or do you struggle to take risks and move forward due to the fear of self-judgment? The constant barrage of negative thoughts can leave us feeling drained, uncertain, and disconnected from our true potential. It's time to shift the narrative. Let's rewrite the script of self-criticism with compassion, understanding, and kindness. By acknowledging our flaws and imperfections, we can begin to break free from the cycle of negativity and unlock a more authentic, empowered version of ourselves. Embracing imperfection, the power of self-love. We've all been there, stuck in a cycle of self-criticism, beating ourselves up over perceived shortcomings and failures. But what if we told you that this toxic mindset is not only holding you back, but also preventing you from experiencing the freedom to live life on your own terms? Key points: self-love isn't just about feeling good, it's about accepting yourself exactly as you are without judgment or expectation. When faced with challenges, do you push through and try to fix everything on your own, or do you take time for self-care and acknowledge your emotions? We often get caught up in drama, blowing difficult situations out of proportion. But what if we could stay balanced and keep things in perspective? It's easy to feel like everyone else is having an easier time. But the truth is that hardship is a part of every person's journey. You don't have to compare yourself to others. You can focus on your own growth and development. The reality is, self-love isn't about being perfect. It's about embracing your imperfections and living with intention. It's about recognizing that you're not alone in this journey and that every person faces their own set of challenges. So what would happen if you made self-love a priority? What kind of life would you lead if you were able to let go of self-criticism and fully accept yourself? Take the first step towards embracing your imperfections. Start by acknowledging your emotions, taking care of yourself, and practicing self-compassion. Remember, you are not alone, and you have the power to choose how you show up in this world. Imagine waking up each morning feeling refreshed and renewed, ready to take on the day with confidence. But what if I told you that this sense of calm and clarity isn't just reserved for those who seem perfect? The truth is, everyone struggles, even the most successful people. You're not alone in feeling overwhelmed, anxious, or uncertain about your abilities. It's easy to get caught up in self-criticism, beating yourself up over perceived shortcomings. But what if You could break free from this cycle of negativity and cultivate a more compassionate relationship with yourself. That's exactly what we'll explore in the following chapters. You see, our culture often perpetuates an unrealistic standard of perfection, leaving us feeling inadequate no matter how hard we try. But what if it's time to rewrite that narrative? What if you could learn to be kinder and more understanding towards yourself rather than constantly striving for an unattainable ideal? The good news is that this shift in perspective can have a profound impact on your life. By embracing self-compassion, you'll not only reduce stress and anxiety, but also unlock your full potential. And the best part, you don't need to wait until everything is perfect. Now is as good a time as any to start. Each chapter of this book is packed with practical exercises designed to help you understand why self-criticism holds you back and how to cultivate a more compassionate mindset. These exercises will equip you with the skills needed to rewire your thoughts, develop a growth mindset, and form a deeper connection with yourself. So, take a deep breath and join me on this journey of self-discovery. It's time to break free from the cycle of negativity and unlock the power of self-compassion. I'd love to hear your thoughts. Drop a comment below and let's talk about your next steps toward success. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll see you soon